Eric here with Team Eccentric, and I figured I'd bring you guys my updated list for Mermails. I didn't bring this, I brought you guys a list before the ban list, and I haven't updated it since, and I figured I'd bring you guys kind of what I've been testing around with, what I've been playing, and I am playing the 5-card hand loop. There is a potential 6-card hand loop given that you draw the 2 pieces that you normally need with an extender such as Swap Frog. However, basically, I'm just going to show you guys the inherent 5-card combo. It is a build off of the 6-card combo, the 6-card hand loop combo with Abysstues. I just don't like playing Abysstues. I feel like it's kind of a brick, so I'm only ripping 5 cards from my opponent's hand and then just kind of setting up a bit of a board there. But with all that noted, we're gonna get right into the profile, guys. Basically, the main deck hasn't changed significantly. I think 1 or 2 cards has changed in the main deck. So we're starting off with a triple Abysstues. That's simply standard. 1 Deep Sea Diva because it's an extra copy of Abysstues. This is actually one of the cards that you search in the 5-card hand loop combo that I will show you at the end of the deck profile. Triple Atlantean Dragoons, double Heavy Infantry, double Marksman. I've been faithful to this ratio and I stick to it because I feel like this gives me enough targets to resolve as many Prince effects as possible. Plus, you know, given there is scenarios where, you know, you're going second, you want to be able to clear your opponent's board in OTK, and I feel like having, you know, at least a relatively high count of Atlanteans can help you, you know, clear your opponent's fields. So that's it for the Atlantean package. We're getting into the Mermails. We'll start off with Moon Glacier first. This is obviously, you know, a delinquent duo for the deck. It's just amazing, and you know, the fact that it's searchable off Dragoon, it's one of the best cards in the deck in my personal opinion. After that, triple Mermail Abyss Megala. This is your OTK card. This is the one that you push the most with, and on top of that, you know, it allows you to ditch 2 waters, which can honestly get you some really nifty combos. You know, discard a Mermail and, you know, another Mermail Abyss Gund, and you just get a lot of plays and synergy. And on top of that, you know, given you don't see a Teus, this is your other option for discard outlets. It's actually really, really good, and it also searches your Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi, which is the Abyss Spell Trap card that I'm playing in this deck. After that, we're playing the triple Mermail Abyss Teus. Mermail Abyss Teus obviously is the best Mermail in terms of investments in card economy, because you're only ditching 1 water, and you get to also search a level 4 lower Mermail, so you get to search your guns, you get to search a pike, you can, you know, especially if you ditch Dragoons as well, it just really synergizes with the deck very, very well, and I think 3 is obviously the best number. After that, double gunned, 1 pike. This is the standard lineup I've been running. I feel like this ratio is pretty much just how I've been playing the deck, and it's been pretty good. So, you know, basically the Mermail lineup, the Atlantean lineup haven't changed. After that, we're playing the same Frog engine, 3 swap, 1 Ronin. I was actually considering throwing in a Dupe Frog, but I figure the card that I'm playing instead of the Dupe Frog is actually kind of relevant. It's a draw card, it's just Upstart Goblin. I figure, you know, instead of having to play the Dupe Frog, I can Upstart and then potentially draw something better. So, Frog engine, and then after that, Gamma Seals, Ashes, standard from the last list, and then one of the cards that changed is the Nightmare Corruptor Ibli, because this actually is a part of the 5-card hand loop combo. Not that it does anything in terms of the actual intrinsic value of the hand loop, but it just allows you to basically, given you have a Summon Sork on board and you draw this, you can special it to your opponent's field. That's one of like the nifty things you can do with it. But on top of that, you are playing Nightmare Mermaid in here, and Nightmare Mermaid being a water, being able to discard for cost, you know, you can trigger your Atlantean effects, and I figure, you know, given you draw the right hand and, you know, combo pieces, you can do all kinds of cool things with this. So I figure the Ibli is actually kind of necessary for the combo. And then after that, obviously everybody knows I stick with the Moray of Greed. I have tested Seconds of Light. It's an alright card. It's just, you know, I never really see it, and when I do, I brick. So it's like, I don't know, Seconds of Light, I mean, yeah, Seconds of Light's a +1, but, you know, on top of that, you're also relinquishing power plays such as 1-for-1 and Soul Charge and things like that. So I figure I'll just stick with the Mermails, at least for now. I might even bring a second profile with the Sekka's Lights, just so you can kind of see like what I would do if I were playing that version of the deck. Because I do have basically two Mermail decks, and you know, I could bring you guys a second one, so I might. We'll just see how we'll see how it goes. For that, Abysstues, Mizuchi, 1-for-1, Upstart Goblin, Monster Reborn, and Soul Charge. The only card that is you know, alternate to my last list is the Upstart Goblin. So that's it for the spell lineup. Now we're getting the extra deck. Extra deck has changed a little bit, not so significantly that it's like ridiculous, you know, all over the place in terms of changes, but obviously we're playing the Gumblar Dragon because that's part of the hand loop. We're playing Borolo Dragon because it applies pressure. Once our Aegis Skull Dread because you need to draw into stuff, and then the reprint Summon Sorceress. Honestly, I'm so happy this card got reprinted, even though this card is absolutely busted and it needs to go. This card is amazing for combos and just allowing you to dig into your deck, and like you might even like end up with, you know, a heavy infantry or a marksman here or something, and you know, you need to get Prince, so you can, you know, yeah, Prince's effect is negated, but you can still pay the cost, so like it's pretty good, honestly. Summon Sword allows you to extend your fields. It's just really amazing. For the Link 2s, we're playing Nightmare Phoenix, the Starboy, and then Reaper Darkus, so that you can get into the Summon Sorceress easier. I'm sure everybody knows you know, the nifty little combo where you just summon something underneath your Reaper Darkus and make it a dinosaur, and then Link into Summon Sword can just go off that way. But obviously Nightmare Starboy because it's, I mean, it's a water, and then Nightmare Phoenix because this is part of the combo, as well as its back row removal, which you know, it just allows synergy for the deck, because sometimes, you know, if you're playing like against the back row deck such as Altergeist or something like that, you may actually want to summon this and use it for its effect, so it can actually be relevant in that scenario as well. And then for the Link 1s, just Link Karibo and Nightmare Mermaid, obviously. You know, these just really Link Karibos, obviously, I mean, it's Link Karibo, it's great, and then Nightmare Mermaid just for the hand loop combo. As well as just being able to reduce your opponent's monsters by 1,000 and summon and enable you to your field so that you can link off with it and then trigger its effect engraved to special it to your opponent's field. It actually is pretty relevant and it can lock your opponent out, so it's actually pretty cool. After that, Double Toad. Obviously, I stick with Double Toad always. You know, if I cut the frog package, then I'd probably cut one, but I like two. So after that, I play one number 42 Galaxy Tomahawk. Obviously, this is just mandatory in Mermails. One Bahama Shark because Toad, you know, Dweller, and then Cypher and Lord Omega because that's another way to rip cards from your opponent's hand if you draw the combo and go first. So that's that for the extra deck. The side deck is kind of all relative to, you know, your local meta. There's a couple Altergeist players towards where I play, as well as a lot of rogue decks. So I'll go into my side deck just to show you guys kind of my theory crafting for the current format. I'm playing 3 Ghost Ogres because this is amazing against Altergeists. You try and get them to, you try and bait out their track card, the protocol or whatever, and then you just ogre it. You can also do it to their spoofing, you know, whatever. It's just really, really good. After that, Triple Veiler. I noticed that there's also a lot of Crusadia players. Again, you know, this is catered towards my local meta. There's a lot of Crusadia players around here, as well as you know, people who know how to chain block. So I figure Veiler is actually a good way to mitigate that problem, because you know, being able to out somebody if they think they're chain blocking you, you know, it can hinder their plays significantly, because then you know, you're just fucking up their entire plan. After that, I'm siding, and I know this is questionable, Triple Mystical Space Typhoon. I know obviously everybody would say, oh, what the hell, why not Twin Twisters? And I completely agree. The issue with Mermails is that in order to play Mermails, you need to have waters in hand. And I could play Cosmic the Cosmic Cyclones, but I figure this, you know, it's just a 1-for-1. It's not, you know, you're not paying life points, you're not ditching a card. And I figure, you know, I mean, I could obviously, I considered cutting these out of the side for red reboots, which might even be the better option. But I figure that these, you know, you could chain these to your opponent's Altergeist cards, or even like if you're playing against True Draco or something like that, like you could just pop off with these. It's all right. It's not bad, honestly. I mean, again, if you have the cards, you might as well play the Twin Twisters or even the Cosmic Cyclones. But I figure that Mystical Space Typhoon is just a 1-for-1 that doesn't cost anything other than being a 1-for-1. And obviously 3 Called by the Grave. I tried maining 2 of these, and I caught 1 Gamma Seal and 1 Ash Blossom, but like literally every time I saw this, like I bricked. So I figured, well, maybe I'll just side it and then like, you know, catalyze. You know, if I'm in a match where I want to catalyze going first and going off with my combo, then I'll do this. But I figured I'll just side these because sometimes they brick me a little bit. And then after that, 3 Mind Crush because your opponent goes evenly matched, or if your opponent goes into their battle phase and they have nothing on their field, you know they have an evenly matched, so you can flip this and drop it. Or even if they like have a multi-faker that you know of or something like that, if they just search anything, you just fuck up their whole plays. It's actually kind of funny. I was playing against an Altergeist player, David, who's featured on the channel recently with his Altergeist deck, and he had Mind Crush in his main deck, and he Mind Crushed my Dragoons, but I had a Toad on board, which obviously wasn't the best play for him. But so I toaded, I took the Mind Crush, and then on my turn I flipped the Mind Crush. I also had another Mind Crush set, so I had 1 Mind Crush from him and then 1 Mind Crush that I sided in. So I flipped Mind Crush, didn't know what he had in his hand, I got to see his hand, and then I flipped the other Mind Crush, and then basically ripped the best card in his hand, so it was kind of nifty. But that's it for the deck profile, guys. I know this deck probably doesn't look as competitive, but again, I'm not really that much of a competitive player anymore. I kind of quit that whole thing a while ago. I attend regionals every here and there just to kind of get a feel for the meta, see what's going on, but I'm not really competitive anymore, guys. I just like to play to have fun. So if there's a deck that you see that like, oh, it's not as competitive as it could be or whatever, just understand that like perhaps I'm not trying to play the deck as competitively. I mean, I am trying to build Thunder Dragon, so I will be bringing you guys that deck profile as soon as I finish it, given it doesn't get hit on the ban list that is supposed to be January 21st or later. I really hope it doesn't get hit, and it probably will, but I really hope it doesn't. But that's it for the deck profile, guys. Now we're going to get into the combo tutorial. What's up, guys? Eric here, and like I said earlier in the profile, I'm going to show you guys a combo tutorial for a 5-card hand loop with Mermails. Basically, this hand loop, it's very simple to pull off. All you need is Teus and Dragoons in your opening hand, and not to draw your Ibli if you're playing it, and as well, it doesn't matter what the other 3 cards are, you just want to make sure you have other 3 cards, which are obviously here noted by the Ash Blossoms. And that's why they're the Ash Blossoms, is because it does not matter what they are. As long as you draw Teus and Dragoons, and not your Nightmare Corruptor Ibli, you have a 5-card hand loop. And even then, basically, like, you're playing 3 of each of these, so it shouldn't be too inconsistent to draw it. And even then, there have been points where I even brick and I Mermail, and then I have to kind of play through, and I even Saryuja into the 5-card hand loop combo and manage to pull it off with a Saryuja on board as well. That has happened before, but it's not too consistent, so I wouldn't rely on it too heavily. However, this combo, like I said, rips 5 cards. There is a combo that rips 6, but that involves Abyss Sphere or having a frog, your swap frog, as an extender here, which can happen, but I'm not going to show you that combo because it's a little more convoluted, a little bit more time consuming, but that's not really too much of a big deal. So in order to perform this combo, you're going to start off by revealing your Abysstues, and you're going to ditch your Dragoons. So now you're going to go 1, 2. So 2 will add your Abyss Gund, and Dragoons will add your Deep Sea Diva. Okay, so that's how you want to start it off. After that, you want to normal summon your Diva and then attempt Diva effect, special summon Neptibus. Then you're going to pay cost for Neptibus effect, sending Atlantean Dragoons to add Atlantean Dragoons. Then you're going to trigger the Dragoons engrave that you sent to add Mermail Abyss Megalo. Okay, then after that, you're going to link off with the Neptibus and the Teus. You're going to link off into the Reaper. Okay, and here you're going to reveal Megalo. You're going to ditch Dragoons and Gund. You put Megalo here, and you're going to go chain links 1, 2, 3. So Gund for 3, Megalo for 2, and then Dragoons for 1 will search your Mooling Glacier. Now, if you'll notice, you have exactly 5 water monsters engraved for Mooling Glacier's effect. So now, you want to special summon Mooling Glacier here, and rip 2 cards from your opponent's hand, which will be noted here by the die. I don't know if you can see that too well, but 2. So you've ripped 2 cards from your opponent's hand already. Now, you're going to use Reaper effect and target your Mooling Glacier to make it a dinosaur. This is how you get into Summon Sorceress. You're going to link off, and you're going to go into your Summon Sorceress, okay? Then, what you're going to do is you're going to use Summon Sorceress effect to target whatever you have here. Honestly, I normally would have targeted the Abysstues, so I should have switched the orders, but it doesn't really matter too much as long as you just get another monster on the board. So we're just going to summon out another Sea Serpent in the form of Atlantean Marksman. Obviously its effects are negated, and that's fine. But, so now you're going to overlay, and you're going to make your number 42 Galaxy Tomahawk. Okay, then after that you're going to detach. You're going to create your 2 tokens. Not a lot, but it is a very strong combo, so this is actually definitely worth it, at least in my opinion. You're going to link off these 2, and you're going to go into Nightmare Phoenix. Then after that, with Galaxy Tomahawk, the tokens are actually level 6, so you're going to synchro for a level 8. And you're going to synchro summon for Cypher Mode Omega. Now, effective Omega, you're going to banish it, and you're going to take the 3rd card out of your opponent's hand. So now you've already basically ripped basically about half your opponent's hand from them, and you still have enough materials on board to do more things. So here, now you're going to link the Summon Sorceress, and whatever you summon here, it could be a Ronin Totem if you switch the orders of Teus and Megalo, or if Megalo, whatever Sea Serpent you summon. You're going to link these 2, and you're going to summon Topologic Gumblar Dragon. Gumblar Dragon obviously can be summoned next to the Phoenix because it points to it, and then after that, you're going to link summon your Nightmare Phoenix into your Nightmare Mermaid. And now, chain links 1 and 2. So 2, you're going to discard whatever card you want in your hand. I'll just discard this and resolve it, special summon, and then you get an extra draw. So whatever that card ends up being, you can put it whatever. And now you've summoned the Ibli, which you can only special summon link monsters, but you're just putting an extra body on the board so that next turn you can go into Saryuja and start regaining resources and comboing off. And then Gumblar Dragon effect, which allows you to basically rip 2 more cards from your opponent's hand. So we'll just say 1 through 4 and 5 and 6. So 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. And then basically, now you've ripped 5 whole cards out of your opponent's hand, and you end it on a board where you have a Cyframe Lord Omega coming back, as well as the Ibli, the Gumblar, and the Nightmare Mermaid, which makes all non-co-linked monsters lose 1,000 attack points. Just so you guys know, you can also mold your future plays with this combo in such a way that gets you more advantage. So for example, let's say obviously your opponent's only going to have 1 card, and given that you do draw an Ash Blossom in your extra hand here, you can always Ash their card, whatever. And then after that, when they pass to you, you're going to put your Omega wherever, and then you're going to link summon for 4. And this is obviously, this is after that turn, so, you've already done your 5-card combo. This is after your opponent, if they decide to keep playing, passes. You go Saryuja, and then you go Chain Links, Saryuja 1 and Ibli 2. Now you can actually give your opponent the Ibli, and you get to draw 4 cards and send 3 back to the bottom of the deck. So that is the basically the way that I like to open with this deck. I like to make sure that I pull this combo off. Granted, I won't get a battle phase this turn, the turn after I do the hand loop, because I've linked off with Mooling Glacier, but you're just trying to go back in and reestablish negates like Toad and things like that. So it can actually be pretty cheesy, pretty wonky, but that was a 5-card hand loop tutorial, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Obviously, again, I know, this version of the deck probably isn't the most competitive, whatever. I'm not really into that. I just want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's it. So, if you have any judgments about my deck, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, it's Yu-Gi-Oh, bro, so chill with it. But, that's it. And Eric here with Team Eccentric, and I'm signing out. Rate and subscribe, leave your comments and ideas in the comment section below, and don't hesitate to give us respectful suggestions on content you want to see. Eric on behalf of the team saying take care, and Team Eccentric out.